So it's match day 6. This is part 2. These matches were played last night, and we'll be looking at Group A, B, C and D. And I'll be updating you with the final tables for those particular groups. And let's get started with Group A. Group A was done and dusted really after match day 5. The only thing needed to be decided was who was going to play Europa League. But let's have a look firstly at the two games. Paris Saint-Germain were at home to Galatasaray. Paris assured of being number 1 in the group, and they had Neymar back alongside Mbappe, and we also saw Cavani towards the end, and they romped to a 5-0 win against the Turks at home. The other match in Belgium was Bruges against Real, and Real Madrid, after a slow start, did the job, winning by 3-1. What that meant was that the situation really didn't change from match day 5. Paris Saint-Germain 16 points, Real Madrid 11 points, and Bruges crept into the Europa League with 3 points, one more than Galatasaray. Into Group B, much the same here. The big decisions had been made on match day 5, with both Bayern and Spurs qualifying to the knockout stages. There was an issue in terms of who would go into Europa League. Would it be Olympiacos or Red Star Belgrade? Prior to kick-off, Red Star were in the ascendancy. They had 3 points, and Olympiacos 1, so they only needed a draw. But first to the Allianz Arena, Bayern Munich against Spurs. Bayern rested Lewandowski, and Spurs also rested Kane. But it was still a high quality match, but Spurs' defence was ragged, to be honest, and the Germans comfortably won by 3-1. The crucial game in Greece was decided by a solitary goal. Red Star had chances but didn't take them, missed a penalty. But Olympiacos didn't have many, but they took one, and they won the game by 1-0, which means they leapfrogged Red Star into the Europa League with 4 points. Bayern 100% record, 6 wins, 18. Spurs 3 wins, a draw and 2 defeats to the Germans, 10 points. Now to Group C. This one was a little bit more up for grabs, so to speak, although Manchester City had comfortably passed through to the knockout stage. They were away in Zagreb, and after going behind, they really turned on the burners, and Gabriel Jesus got a hat-trick as they came from behind to beat Croatian Zagreb by 4-1. That put an end to Zagreb's hopes of continuation in the knockout stage. So the crucial match at Shakhtar Donetsk against Atalanta. Prior to kick-off, Shakhtar had the 6 points and Atalanta only 4. So you don't need me to help you with the maths. Basically, Atalanta needed to win, and they certainly went about their business. Second half action mainly, but they ended up winning by 3-0 in the Ukraine, so that took them through. So final standings in that group was Manchester City on 14 points. That includes 4 wins and 2 draws. Atalanta 7 points, and Shakhtar go into Europa League on 6 points. So finally then to Group D. Group D, after match day 5, had made Juventus clear on 13, so they were into the knockout stages. Atletico Madrid were on 7 points and Bayer Leverkusen 6. Lokomotiv Moscow only on 3. So basically, Atletico needed to get a better result than Bayer, and they were at home to Lokomotiv. Well, they did the job comfortably in front of their own fans at the Vicente Calderon Stadium, even though they missed a penalty from Trippier. But they won by 2-0, and so safely through. Bayer were at home to Juventus, and it was a pretty poor first half. Juventus very disappointing. I did note though that they've still got Gigi Buffon in goal. He must be certainly the wrong side of 40. But in the second half, they got the job done. A goal from Ronaldo as well. Beat Bayer by 2-0. That left the final standings in the group. Juventus 5 wins and a draw, 16 points. Atletico Madrid through with them on 10 points, and Bayer Leverkusen will play Europa League on 6 points. So that concludes the group stages of the Champions League. Of course, there are Europa League matches tomorrow. But I won't be covering those. But just to say, we're now into the last 16 of the Champions League. Those matches will take place, I think, in early February. And just to remind you, the teams that were first in the group will be seeded, and the teams who finish second will be thrown into the pot, and they will be pulled out against the top seeded teams. So if you are familiar with those final standings, let's just say that Manchester City and Liverpool from the UK, they won their groups, whereas Chelsea and Spurs were second in their groups. Now I'm not awfully sure whether they can be drawn together in the last 16 from the same country. I'll try and check that and let you know on that. But 4 teams through from the UK. Spain also have 4 through, and Italy have 2, as do France, and we've got France have got 2, and Germany have 2 as well. Sorry, Germany have 3. So I've lost one somewhere. I'm trying to find it frantically, can't do it. So that's how it stands anyway. Sorry, the Italians have got 3 through. So just quickly again, 4 from the UK, 4 from Spain, 3 from Italy, and 2 from Germany, and 2 from France. Does that work out? No, there's one missing. Never mind. That's my summary of the UEFA Champions League.